Hello and welcome to North Star Conversations with Will Polston. This is episode number 166 and it's a very, very, very special episode. So if you were listening to the episode 150 that we released a couple of months ago, you'll know that there were some changes that we made. And what I'm about to share with you in this episode, just 16 episodes later, is an even bigger change. If you're a regular listener to my podcast, you'll know that for the last 165 episodes, it's been called Make It Happen with Will Polston. Make It Happen has been very important to me for many years because when I first started the coaching and training business, that's exactly what I called it. Make It Happen with Will Polston. Our Facebook group has been called the Make It Happen community for nearly 8 years now, nearly 9 years actually, and some things have changed. And the big thing that changed was the book that came out, North Star Thinking, which came out in July 2023. And when I first brought the book out and we started to change a few things within the business, I decided that I wanted to keep the podcast called Make It Happen and I wanted to keep the Facebook group called the Make It Happen community because I felt that it was a great way of keeping some legacy of who we used to be. But what I've realized now, on the back of a realization I had earlier this year, was what do I really want to be known for? What do I really want to do to really have my impact on the world? And what I've realized is that's about helping you identify, create, and live your North Star. And by doing that, and by creating that and focusing on that, I've made the bold decision that we're changing everything to be focused around North Star and your North Star and helping you to create that. So the podcast name has changed to North Star Conversations. The Facebook group, which if you're not already in, go and join it, is called the North Star Thinking Community. That has got over 5,000 people. We've just changed the name. But what you'll notice by being part of that group, that a lot of the content is about helping you create, identify and live your North Star. And my guests now, we are going to be talking about their North Star, how they identified it, how they've come across it, and what it is that they are doing to be able to be living it on a daily basis and having that ripple effect in the world. So it's a change that I'm very excited to share with you. But whilst we're talking about that, I just want to share with you, for those of you that are new to the podcast, what is a North Star? And why is it important for you? Well, a North Star for me is about having a mission in life that's the equivalent of trying to empty the sea with a spoon. It's having a mission in life that's so big that you accept you never are going to achieve it. And how I came across this concept was I was just connecting some dots. Now, years ago, I had gone through life believing that money equaled happiness. I'd gone off on this tangent to make as much money as I could, as early as I could. I'd done okay at that, and I kept focusing on that for many, many years, and I would set a goal, I would achieve it. I would set another goal, I would achieve it. I would set another goal, I would achieve it. But I would find myself being really frustrated and actually quite unfulfilled because every time I would set a new goal, I would just set another one. I was never really taking time to reflect on my accomplishments. It was always about next, and it wasn't a really nice place to live. And 11 years ago, at the time of recording this, I had a big realization that completely altered the trajectory of my life, which if you want to know more about that, you can go all the way back to episode number 2 and have a listen about that story. And what happened from them was I realized that actually, no, it's about having this North Star. It's about having this mission in life that's so big you never achieve it. Now, there's lots of different ways that you can create your North Star. I talk about those in episode 1, but just to recap them, one of them is about having an Ikigai. So an Ikigai is a Japanese concept that the direct translation for it means a reason for being. What I think is fascinating about the Ikigai, it's born off of the concept is born from a place called Okinawa, which is an island just off Japan, and they have more centurions, they have more people that have lived to over 100 years old than anywhere else on the planet. It's one of the blue zones of the world. And the Ikigai is a cross section of 4 key questions that you could answer. Now, question 1 is, what do you love to do? So by identifying all of the things that you love to do, you start to build up a bit of an understanding. The second question is, what are your strengths? What are you really good at? Again, by listing those out, you get an understanding. Then what does the world need? What's a problem that you feel that needs to be solved? Something that you are truly inspired to do. And then finally is, what can you be paid for? So a combination of these things, they create it as a Venn diagram is how it's generally presented. And the cross section of all of those 4 questions is what essentially is what the Ikigai is. So an Ikigai, the reason for being, is similar to a North Star. The North Star is this mission in life that you're willing to have and work on for the rest of time. Now, of course, that can can change, but it's having something that you can continually work towards. You're working towards it every single day, knowing that it's filling you with energy. It's fulfilling you as a result of taking action and working on that. Another way of identifying your North Star is by reflecting, looking back on life and seeing where in your life have you had the most challenge and had the most struggle, and those pain points will generally have some sort of understanding of what your North Star might be. There's a correlation there, and again, that's something we're going to go through in future episodes in more detail about exactly how you can create that and identify that. Or what you can do, of course, is get a copy of my book, North Star Thinking. I go through that and a whole bunch of other things, and you can just head to Amazon and get that copy of the book. So yeah, that's really what North Star Thinking, or North Star Conversation, should I say, is going to be about now. We're going to be looking at these missions that people have, how they've identified them, how they're living their North Star, and the impact that it's making. I know you're going to love these conversations, and there's going to be a huge amount of inspiration that you're going to take from them, and I would love to get your feedback. So that's just giving you a little bit more of an understanding about what's going to be happening moving forward. We've got some phenomenal guests lined up, and what I'm also going to be doing is sharing some real practical tools that you can be using to help you identify, create, and live your North Star on future episodes. So I hope you enjoy it. Until next time, live a life you love.